Several years ago, a few months after it came out, I did an unboxing review of the Polar Lights 350th scale original series Enterprise. Um, a model that I had been waiting for a long time. I was very excited to get my hands on, but was very disappointed about one particular detail. Saucer grid lines. No, bad. No, incorrect. Yeah, that kind of ruined that kit for me. Otherwise, a beautiful model that I was dying to build, but just that mere fact that they spoiled that gorgeous design by etching in engraved panel lines. Well, a couple of years later, and some new facts have come to light about that particular enterprise, particularly how exactly the grid lines were drawn or were represented on the saucer section. And it's, as I've thought for a very long time, they were not etched. They were drawn in pencil. Now that the 11-footer, the studio model, has been fully restored and is back on display at the Smithsonian, with the saucer top having still the original paint from the 1960s, but the rest of it being essentially repainted and restored from the ground up. Polar Lights have taken that information and they've gone back and they've made some modifications just in time for the 50th anniversary. So at the end of this year, well, it's the end of this year and I haven't seen it yet, but I'm told that just in time for Christmas there's going to be a complete reissue of the 350th Enterprise with a new saucer. But for those of you that, like me, bought this kit 2-3 years ago when it first came out and were disappointed and as of yet have not gotten around to building it, again, don't you fret. Polar Lights, to the rescue. They've gone and issued a complete new saucer. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still grumpy that I have to pay another, $30, $40, this was $45 Canadian, for another saucer that I shouldn't have had to pay for in the first place. It should have been done correctly the first time out of the gate. But at least I'd rather they do it this way than just make me have to buy the entire kit again. And this is not a cheap model. This thing, I think I paid almost $200 Canadian for it. I think the reissue retail is going to be around $150 US. And with the lousy Canadian dollar right now, it's going to be probably about $225, maybe almost $230. So I'm relieved that this is the most it's going to cost me, but I'm still disappointed that this was even required. But anyway, enough about that. Let's take a look at just what comes in this package and compare it against the original kit saucer. You can see here it's packaged very similarly to how Polar Lights releases a lot of their supplemental part sets or decal sets. Just a simple poly bag with a cardboard top. Not much to say about the cardboard, just a shot of the saucer section and some bio info about the ship. It's just stapled together, got a QR code, probably just takes you straight to Round 2's website. Incidentally, the photo displayed here is of I believe that's the Pilot 2 version of the Enterprise, not the series version. It's got the opaque domes, the black segment circles, and the raised bridge dome, indicating that it's the one of the Pilot versions. I'm not that up on which version is which, but I want to say I think it's the second Pilot version. Two halves come just kind of shrink wrapped together. First thing I'm noticing is that the surface, in addition to being smooth and in the sense of not having the grid lines in it, has no texture at all. The original edition had a very slight pebbly texture on the surface, and additionally the cutout here, as well as on the ventral portion, were filled in, required to be cut out by the modeler. Interior as appears to be the same as the previous edition. Still has all the sturdy bulkheads, nice big contact lugs for connecting the saucer neck. Nice cutouts for windows. Looks like one here needs to be. It looks like it's flashed over. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. That might be for different versions of the ship, because there's 2 here and 3 here that are flashed over. So I'm going to have to do some research and figure out if there's a reason for that. Maybe on different versions of the ship, those particular windows are closed off. I got some copyright info. Updated copyright 2016. Detail on the underside looks great. Again, having no grid lines this time. The only engraved lines you've got are just these concentric rings and these hatches, which, depending on who you ask, could be either landing pads or possibly cargo bay hatches. I'm not totally sure. Saucer top. I've just got some engraved details here on the aft section, which is true to the original model, and some cutouts for saucer top windows, as well as your marker lights. Interior, not much going on. Yeah, there's no bulkheads or anything in here like there are on the saucer bottom. Clearly, this is not a structural part like the saucer bottom is. For instructions, you don't got a lot. Basically, since this is just a drop-in replacement, all you have here is just how you would want to. It's kind of a template if you want to draw in the grid lines with a pencil, much like the shooting prop would. In addition to, there's a single pair of decals here, which represent what has been come to be known as the rust ring, which just on basically right here, just forward of the of where the saucer bubble starts to rise, for the I believe D and E decks. It's just kind of a line of tan that fades toward the edge of the ship. But yeah, it kind of gives you directions on how you would trace and cut paper templates if you wanted to draw in the grid lines yourself. I don't know if I'm going to bother with the grid lines because they're so faint, but it's nice to have the option. It's nice to have the template for which to do that. And finally, we've got the old saucer top with the etched-in grid lines, which are actually remarkably fine now that I'm looking at it. I haven't looked at this thing in a long time, but they are really, really shallow. And the new smooth saucer version. I don't know, maybe you can hear the sound of my hand as it's rubbing against. You can kind of hear the texture, whereas this one is very, very smooth. This one has kind of a sandpapery texture, and this one is just like glass. Structurally, both parts are identical on the underside. Likewise with the saucer bottoms, this being the original part, this being the reissued part. Same kind of texture versus smoothness. Same very fine panel lines. Yeah, only real difference other than that is just this flashed over part here versus it's cut open here. Internal detail between the two appears to be identical. Same structure and bulkheads and rigidity supports to support the interior, the structure of the ship. There have been two things holding me back from building this kit from the day that I bought it. The number one being that I wanted to get my hands on the light-up kit, which I did, and now the smooth saucer. I did not want to have to spend 15 or 20 hours puttying, sanding, puttying, sanding, puttying, sanding, just to make this into this. Really did not want to do that, because that you risk obscuring detail that's supposed to be there, like these little blocks, or on the underside especially, like these hatches, or you might end up accidentally filling in a window. There's so many opportunities where something can go wrong, and I'm so happy now that I've got this directly out of the gate. I can just drop this in, no modification necessary. Yeah, now that I've got the light up kit, I'm kind of tempted to just take this whole thing out to the kitchen, set it up on the kitchen table, and just do a quick dry fit with all the electronics and see what it looks like. I probably shouldn't, because from what I understand, this thing fits together really tightly, and some parts, once you've got them together, do not want to come apart. But I'm really tempted. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I might do it anyway. I might, see if I can find a way to, detach the saucer from the neck and the nacelles from the pylons, but still keep the basic sub-assemblies put together, just to slap it together and see what she looks like, because I've had this thing for 2.5, almost 3 years, and I've been just dying to get it on display. I have a plan, now that I've got my movie Enterprise, the refit, kind of working. I still need to build a new base for it, but now that I've got it working again, having these two sitting opposite each other would be glorious. So that being said, keep your eye on this space. You never know when I may have inspiration strike me. If I do a quick test fit, I will definitely take some video. But I will be doing some new lighting projects. I have a project in the works that I'm really excited about. If you may remember my Star Destroyer I built quite a few years ago. And the new one that I just got a couple of weeks ago, yeah, I'm kind of looking to do some stuff with that thing that's kind of similar to the old one, but a little more advanced. So we'll see. That'll hopefully be something that I will get to over the next little while, because the hard part will be the electronics. Painting, it'll be nothing. I can paint that in the garage. I won't need to worry about having a proper working studio to assemble that, or to paint that thing. I can do most of the work at the kitchen table and then just do a quick paint job in the garage. So I might be able to get that done before too long. Otherwise, everything else is going to have to wait until the spring. It is what it is. But yeah, do stay tuned. Keep your eye on this channel. Keep your eye on my Twitter. I don't post on there as often as I should, but I'm definitely going to be trying to post a little bit more on there in the next little bit about some of my upcoming projects. So thank you everyone out there for watching, and happy modeling.